Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you click this video, you want to learn JavaScript, and I'll be teaching you JavaScript from beginner to making you pro in JavaScript and helping you find better jobs. And maybe if you want to switch your career and want to find new job in web development, software development, anything, this is the course which you need. And in this YouTube series, I'll be making complete JavaScript course 2022 from literally from scratch, lesson 0, from how to define variables to make your own websites and even deploy it. So if you want to learn JavaScript, this is the course for you. Prerequisites for this course is maybe you need to know a little bit of HTML and CSS later on in the course, but still I'll teach you basics of HTML CSS, so you don't need to worry about. And if you really want to master JavaScript, this is the course for you. So why would you learn JavaScript? Basically, it's the most easiest language to start learning. Trust me when I say this, it is, because I started learning Java in the beginning and it didn't went well for me. Then I switched it and I started learning JavaScript. I just wanted to make websites. And today I'm doing really good. I love programming. I love JavaScript. I do a lot of programming with it and it really changed my life. So it will change you as well, or if you are willing to learn something new and want like creating new web application, and you want to show it to your friends, show it to your employer and get a better job or pay rise. It's the most popular language in the world, and by the way, it's also in your browser. If you go and click on the three dots on Google Chrome and you turn off JavaScript, you will see that your page wouldn't look good, because the whole developer the whole Chrome browser runs on JavaScript, and almost the code on it's controlled by JavaScript, because that's the logic behind it, behind programming. uh, it controls your whole modern web, so that is one of the reason to learn JavaScript. Best way to get a job in tech right now is to learn JavaScript or its sub languages like TypeScript, which will again basically you have to know JavaScript for that. So let's say you want to become a React developer, which is the really famous framework now. You need to learn JavaScript for that, because the whole framework is made on JavaScript. If you want to learn Angular, which is the second modern framework after React, then again you need to know JavaScript. Or if you want to become a Vue developer, you need to know JavaScript, or any web developer, you need to know JavaScript. So JavaScript is the solution for you. And so what will I be teaching in this course? So I'll be starting with teaching you the fundamentals of JavaScript. I will teaching you all the developer skill you need for sure. So basically I work as a full-time software developer now, and even if I'm given some tasks to do, to figure out how to do that task, I have to first figure out where how will I approach those. To do that, you need to know some basic developer skills, which also I'll be teaching in this YouTube series. And how to manipulate DOM and get what you need. Like, let's say you are doing some CSS fixing or anything like that, you need to know DOM manipulation. What calls are getting, what calls you are receiving, you need DOM manipulation. And I'll also teach how JavaScript really works behind the scene. You see so many YouTube series and they just tell you, but how, let's say, this function is working, what are errors, but I'll really teach you, what it really is, which will make your foundation really good. Also, I will include modern operators, which are ES6 plus. So what does it mean? It means basically, JavaScript as a language, they have update as well. Like, how your iPhone has updates, and they come up with new updates to make our life easier. Same with JavaScript, they come up with like new functions or new features to make us the developer life really easier. We can code fast. What we'll be learning in this course, again, it will be a lot of functions and functions. JavaScript is all about functions. What is function? I'll be teaching you in the course. So function is just something where you give an input and you return something. Easy definition. uh, Secondly, we'll run arrays, map, filter. So these are some ES6 features. Arrays are the thing which you will see in every programming language you try to learn, and these are really foundation to master any programming languages. What is synchronous and asynchronous programming, I'll be teaching you as well. What is Ajax, why do we use Ajax? I'll teach you everything. Right now you don't need to worry about, I'm just giving you a brief what you can expect while you are watching this series, and at the end I'll teaching you how to build, very cool websites, applications, and you can put it on your CV, show it to, if you're applying for a job, you can show it to the employer, and you can even publish those websites. I'll even teach you, how to put code on GitHub, and even how you can put your website up like using HTTPS, which you can show it to your friends or family. And that really gives, a developer a motivation to go and make more website. Personally, me, when I started using JavaScript and making web application, and I used to post a website, right? I used to publish a website. It really used to give me a lot of motivation when I used to share it with my friends. Let's say I made a chat application, and I'm chatting with my friend on it, just showing them how I made it, and it really excites me and helped me to make another application. So I'll be teaching you all of that, and so how many languages do you need to know? A lot of friends of yours, they will say that you need to know, like 2 or 3 languages, at least, like Java, learn JavaScript, learn Java as well, learn Kotlin. No, it doesn't work like that. Let's say I'm a front end developer, I need to know JavaScript, that's it. Or maybe a subset of JavaScript language like TypeScript or anything like that. But no, you don't need to know 2 or 3 languages to land a job. To land a job, you need just one language and you need to master it. Trust me when I say it, just one, your own, you need JavaScript. If you master this language, you're getting good jobs, good pay, and yes, everything will be good for you. Or if you don't like JavaScript, you go and learn other language, but stick with a language, master that language. Then in later on, if you want to switch, you can switch in a couple of weeks. It's not a big deal. But you have to master one programming language and master the concepts of programming.